All right, y'all. It is time to shine. It is time to shine. I'm your host, Julian Smartrimple here, King Jewelz. We are locked and loaded for another very special edition of the RTJ show, the Run the Jewelz vidcast and podcast series. If this is your first time rocking with us today, shout out to our Wisdom listeners who are listening on Wisdom, or if you're catching us on the replay. The RTJ Lifestyle Show was created to spread inspiration to young professionals and millennial entrepreneurs who want to learn wisdom on how to shine brighter in their careers or their businesses. And so even if you are not a millennial or a Gen Zer, if you're a baby boomer, we still appreciate you. You are now one of our Smart Jewel listeners that are tuning in today or watching us or listening to us on the replay. So thanks again for being with us today. And for those who are listening on the Wisdom app, we give exclusive behind the scenes access to our Wisdom Smart Jewel listeners. And so shout out to our Wisdom listeners. If you have any question at any time of the interview today for my very special guest, feel free to come on the stage. Don't be scared. You can ask any questions you may have of my guest, and we'll do our best to get any questions you need answered. We are a live Q&A podcast show, and so feel free to ask any questions either in the comments or if you're on Wisdom, come on the stage. But you can listen to us on all podcasts and music streaming platforms. We're also recently getting onto Clubhouse, and so definitely track with us on these alternate platforms. But I'm excited, you all, because we are winding down some of our episodes for season 4. But if you are still interested in being a guest on one of our future episodes or future seasons, feel free to put in the comment section what we're putting right now, our link that you can fill out our interest form to see if you have what it takes. If you are a dynamic entrepreneur, an innovative young professional, and you are literally a young professional or entrepreneur and want to share your story and are not afraid to share your story, feel free to fill out our interest form, and our team will comb through any of our forms that we get and see if you are someone that fits our mission and our vision for the RTJ show. But those are all of my housekeeping. Make sure, again, you go and listen to our episodes released every Tuesday on our podcast from season 1 all the way now to season 4, you all. And so you can track with us along our journey that we've come from the last 3 seasons now to our 4th season. And again, if you have any questions for my very special guests, feel free to ask them at any time of the interview session. And without further ado, we are locked and loaded, ready for today's episode, which is titled How a Marine Made 6 Figures in Less Than a Year. We're going to be talking to a dynamic entrepreneur and also a service member that is going to be sharing his jewels of wisdom and how, again, he was able to make 6 figures as a Marine in less than a year. I met this young king through one of our previous guests that we had on earlier this season by way of IG. So shout out to Instagram, connecting the dots with many of our guests that we are able to have on our show to Run the Jewelz. But he's definitely killing it in his industry. He's a young king that is literally making a legacy for his family and building up his legacy, especially with financial education and also financial freedom. And so I'm going to let him introduce himself more to you all. But I'm about to bring my very special guest onto the stage so you all can meet him too. And so without further ado, let me introduce you to young King Jaylen Feliciano. Jaylen, how you feeling today?
Let's go. What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you again for coming on to share the jewels with us this morning, King. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. And so what we usually do, Jaylen, we always have our guests introduce themselves to our audience. Can you tell us just about today?
No, 100%. Again, man, I greatly appreciate the opportunity, man. I'm blessed. I'm humbled. One of the first very things is, one, my name is Jaylen Feliciano. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, right? I love Atlanta. I love Atlanta. That's my hometown. as of right now, I'm stationed in North Carolina, Camp Lejeune. Not sure if people are familiar with that area, but I'm stationed there right now. So I haven't, really been to Atlanta fully. It's kind of like on the coast of North Carolina. It's in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Other than that, I teach people financial literacy while using OPM in the process, right? Through my platforms that I have, people who I can serve, whether it's virtual, whether it's physical, whatever I can do to help further their agenda and get them to where they need to go. And, one of the biggest things, like you guys can literally see it on my shirt right here. Like, this is my clothing brand, right? Creating generational wealth. So on the front of my shirt, it says literally currently creating generational wealth. And one of the biggest things that I tell people when it comes to creating generational wealth is it's not about you anymore, right? Like, it's not about you anymore. Like, it's about the ones after you, your kids. Not only just that, but your kids' kids, meaning how will your last name be remembered, right? Like, what legacy will you leave behind for your kids to have? Like, what are the things that your kids are going to be able to inherit because of you? Right? Like, I remember when I was talking to my mom one day, right? And I remember when my mom, we were just talking, sitting down, and I told her, I was like, Mom, like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, when I pass away, like, I don't want to have a funeral. I want to have a parade. Right? And she was like, whoa, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I want to do something so big. I want to do something so crazy. Like, I want to set such a big imprint and such a big impact on this world that when I die, it's like everything that I did was for a reason, and it was for a reason that was much greater than me. Like, that's how big your dreams and your visions have to be. It has to be so big that it scares you. Like, me trying to figure out what do I have to do to create, or for me to start, how many lives do I have to change? Like, what do I have to do in order for me to have a parade after me? Like, that's something big, like something that you really got to think about. So again, I want you guys to think about, what is that big goal? What is that big dream that ultimately scares you? And I want you guys to go for it.
I love that, King. We definitely are going to be teaching and also allowing you to teach others how to chase after their dreams, especially with you going after your dreams early on in life. And even for those, Jay, who may not know, like, tell people your age, King, because I know you are doing major moves, even when a lot of other people that are in this age bracket or my age bracket are still lost and confused at their purpose and what they want out of life. But tell us your age, and also, how did you get into that mindset? Did you have a mentor? Did you have books that you read? Did you have family members that were already grafted into this entrepreneur mindset? Talk to us about your background and your history.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy because that was the one thing I wasn't trying to mention, but I'll tell everybody, right? My age, right? I'm 21 years old, right? I'm 21 years old. I just turned 21, a week or two ago. My birthday is May 26th. It was about a couple weeks ago. All right. So I literally just turned 21. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's crazy how I can, look, I'm going to say this. It's crazy how I can be in the military, right? And how I'm able to die for my country at 18 and 19, but I can't go get a drink, right? It's the most craziest thing in the world. But I remember kind of how my journey started, brother, was, I would say, about around the age of 15, 16, right? And it started off with me just selling candy in school, right? As far as adjusting to the entrepreneur mindset, right? That was one of the key things, right? Like selling candy in school, all right? I'm talking about trying to sneak a duffel bag of candy, right, inside the school, right? And then trying to sell it throughout the day, trying not to get caught. Eventually, I got connected. I had a couple mentors because I joined a couple of programs. I joined a couple of groups inside my school, and I got connected with this one mentor that I had, and he put me in a position to win. So he helped me get involved with Steve Harvey, right? So I got into a program that Steve Harvey has. It's called the Steve Harvey Mentoring Program for Young Men. So what this is, it's literally a 3 or 4 day weekend where you're able to spend those times at a place. It's called the Rock Ranch. The CEO of Chick-fil-A owns it. and you go there, and Steve Harvey and all of his mentors, all the people who he has around him, everybody who helped makes him great, all the NFL players, NBA, anybody who you can think of, they were all there, right? And they were pouring into kids, and specifically he likes to reach kids between the age of 13, I think, to about max 18, right? Kids who grow without father figures, right? Kids who just doesn't know, like they don't know where to go, like they don't know what to do. And I was part of that crowd, right? So my father, he got shot and robbed in Atlanta, Georgia when I was 6 years old. So I was a part of that realm that fit in the category that he was looking for. Fast forward, went through the program. I loved it. It was amazing. Like that was one of the key things that really changed my life, to see people that look like me, right? They're showing me how I can build myself to be. So fast forward maybe about a year, I get a call back. They say, hey, we loved you as a mentee, right? It was amazing. We want you as a mentor. We want you to come back and inspire everybody else who's actually in the program. I'm like, wow, let's do it. I'm all in. That was kind of the one major things I believe that kind of ignited that entrepreneur, vision in me. Something that kind of ignited the lifestyle of, I have more to offer. I have more to give in my complete self. And again, I believe one of the biggest things that I could ever say is I was getting in the room at the age of 17. Right. And when I mean getting in the room is this, I mean getting in a room where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. Right. Getting in the room where I'm hanging around 6 to 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, getting in the room where I have people who are actually listening to my ideas, right? I'm getting around in the room with people who are encouraging me. I'm getting in the room with people who are telling me, yo, listen, I think you should do this, right? I love the game plan, but I think you should tweak it just a little bit so that way you can get here faster, right? I'm getting in the room. And, just not too long ago, I went to a mastermind, right? Keyword, a mastermind, right? What does it do? It masters your mind. So I highly advise everybody to go to any type of mastermind, any type of conference, any type of event that can help get you to that next level, right? But I remember I went to a mastermind and I left out paying my mentor $75,000. I paid him $75,000 that day, right? And a lot of people would look at that and be like, yo, 75,000. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's 5 cars. Like, that's right. Like, let's split that up. All right. That's almost a house. That's almost a house. All right. Especially a good house. Right. 75,000 is crazy. So, I remember and I was contemplating, and one of the biggest things that I was going over when I was really, really, really looking at that price point was, I was thinking about, what would it cost me if I don't do it though? Right? Like, what would it cost me if I don't invest $75,000 into myself? Like, how much will it cost me? Like, it may cost me another maybe $20,000 per month in my business. It may cost me an extra, $150,000 per year. It may cost me for me to be in the military another 4 years. Right? It may cost me to continue being average. It may cost me for me to continue being in my comfort zone. It may cost me for me to keep living the way I'm living. Like, it's going to cost me something. But the thing is, I want you guys to ask yourself this when it comes to any type of investment that you're doing is, what will it cost you if you don't do it? Like, what will it cost you if you do not make this investment? I don't know what it could be for you, right? It could be maybe an extra 10K that you're not going to get simply because you didn't make that investment. So what I'm trying to say is that the reason why I invested in myself and I invested in my mentor was because I knew that the more I pour into my personal development, the more I pour into myself, I know I'm going to get 2 times of everything right back to me. So I highly suggest everybody go find a mentor, like go to a masterclass, go to a workshop, go to any physical virtual events, and ask somebody who's in the position to where you want to be in, and ask them literally, like, how did you get there? How did you get there? And just ask them, right? Make sure you're writing everything down. Like, success leaves clues. So that's kind of how I found my mentor, and that's kind of how I advise everybody to go find your mentor. Like, you got to get in the room. You got to get in the room. I think that's one of the biggest things, though, Julian, when it comes to just finding that right mentor and finding everything that you need, not just for them, but for you. Because mainly when you get a mentor, right, mainly it's like 9 times out of 10, they have nothing to gain.
Mm-hmm.
You have everything to gain, right? Because they've already kind of got that proven process. Like, what are they going to gain, right? So I think it has more to do with you more than anybody else. So.
Nah, you right on point with that, King. And I forgot to give a shout out, especially to you being from the ATL, and also to Steve Harvey's mentoring camp. I know we've had one of the OGs, as I call him, King Derek Hill. He's based out of here in Atlanta, but he always works with Steve Harvey's mentor camp here in Atlanta. So shout out to Derek Hill and also to Steve Harvey, making major moves for all the Kings. And I even heard recently in the last year or so that he added in young queens too, the ladies onto the camp. So shout out again to those putting in the work. But Jay, we're going to let you get a quick commercial break just to rest for a second while we honor our VIP sponsor before we let you continue, King, to tell us about your journey in getting to 6 figures. But each and every episode, we do highlight a VIP sponsor, you all, for a business, small business owner, or one of our affiliate partners that we partner with for all of our episodes for season 4. And so take a look and see who our VIP sponsor is for today, you all. Let's take a look. So shout out again to our VIP sponsor for today. Comes from none other than StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard, who is our VIP sponsor for today. You can use the link that we're putting in the comment section to get a $10 off discounted pricing package today, just by visiting the link that we're putting in, which is what we use actually here with our platform for RTJ for season 4 and season 3. Shout out to StreamYard. It's a dynamic live stream platform, very sturdy, with limited glitches, and you can stream to YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter Spaces, Facebook, and I believe Twitch for all the gamers that are out there too. But you can use this exclusive link that we're putting in the comment section to get $10 off when you register with one of their subscription plans today. And they're very reasonably priced with their subscription plans. And so shout out to StreamYard, you all. But if you are interested in having your business or even your service spotlighted as one of our VIP sponsors for one of our episodes, feel free to put in the comment section by clicking the link, so that one of our team members can reach out to you all in order to get you started today. But back to you, Jaylen. We definitely wanted to give our VIP sponsor some shine. Shout out to StreamYard, the platform that we even use. But Jaylen, talk to us, man. Like, talk to us about how did you get into wanting to be a business owner while also serving in the Marines, especially in your 20s? We know that you are definitely doing big things already in your early 20s, but like what got you into wanting to start making six figures and go after being an entrepreneur outside of serving your country?
Yeah, man. That's honestly a good question, bro. And really, it kind of resulted in this, right? So I graduated high school May 24th. I graduated high school May 24th, 2019. My birthday's May 26th, and then I went straight to boot camp on May 28th. Yep, May 28th. So in between that time frame, right, I didn't even have that much time to even like enjoy myself, right? After graduating high school, like I went straight into boot camp, right? I guess you could say I was still 17 because it was only like what 2-3 days ago before my birthday. So ultimately, I joined at 17. I joined the military at 17, right? And I'm going through boot camp, right, which is definitely one of the not the most fun times of my life, right? I'm not going to get into that, but just know that was a real crazy experience for me that kind of made me realize, like, okay, I need to grow up now. Like, even though I'm 17, even though I'm 18, like I need to grow up now. So fast forward, going into the military, I'm about 18 now, right? I'm about like 18, 19, like finna turn 19 around that time frame. And I'm looking at people in the military, right? I have a lot of friends in the military, right? And I'm speaking to them and I'm talking to them. And I remember I was having this one conversation with one of my buddies, and he wanted to show me his bank account, right? He was basically telling me, like, bro, I don't even have enough to pay for a haircut. We have to get a haircut every week, right? Every week, every Sunday, we got to get a haircut, no matter what. Doesn't matter, right? And a haircut typically costs about $10 to $20, right? When I say haircut, right? When I say military haircut, right? I'm not talking about a nice little cut that you'll get from Atlanta. No. I'm talking about a razor that has a vacuum on it, right? So that way they can just say, right? And they done, right? That's what I mean by haircut. So, but we were still paying $10 to $20 just for that cut alone. Remember, he told me, he said, bro, I don't even have no money to pay for it. Like, what you mean? Like, we just got paid a couple of days ago. Like, you don't got $10, $20. Show me his bank account. That thing said $0. $0. Right. And I think it had like a couple cents, but I just know it didn't have no dollars in it. Right. And I'm like, man, like, why are we in the position to, risk our life, right, to do everything we can for the military, right? And it's not to bash the military at all. I'm currently actively serving, but why are we doing all of this, right? But why is there a lot of Marines that's not able to just go and afford a haircut? Like, why is it, Marines not able to go and, do whatever it is that they want to do off of their own personal use? Like, why are they not getting paid enough, right? So one of the biggest things that I told myself is, I said, you know what? That can't be me. I said, that can't be me. So literally what I did was I locked down, like I put my head down. I locked in, start reading books, Think and Grow Rich, right? By Napoleon Hill. Like, I'm talking about like books that I could actually kind of reference to, books that I can kind of feel from, books that's oriented around my niche, right? Not books about, some dragon, right? Something that like, no, I'm talking about books that I can actually implement and use in my life today. So again, around the age of 18, 19, I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I literally locked in for 6 months to about a year. I studied a specific niche. I locked in for about 6 months, studied, went on YouTube, went on Google, right? Start experimenting myself, getting around people who were doing the things that I wanted to do at the level that I wanted to do it at, right? I'm taking down notes. I'm attending workshops. I'm attending webinars, right? I'm attending any type of physical or virtual event, right? I'm getting in the room, right? And I'm trying to figure out, you know what? I get it. Like, my time may not be now, right? I may not be making the money that I want to make, but at least I'm going to have the knowledge in about the next 3 to 6 months in order for me to implement everything that I've learned into my business, into my personal life, for me to get to that next level. So again, I literally locked in the niche that I specifically studied, right? I was learning mostly about business credit, right? Business funding, right? How to actually get funding for my business, right? How to actually, start up any business that I wanted to, right? Getting into, again, rooms with people who are doing the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do Airbnb. I wanted to do Turo, right? I wanted to get into the exotic car industry. I wanted to do all of these things. And now it came to a point where, guess what? I locked in for 6 months, meaning I know how to get funding for my business now, right? I know how to get 50,000. I know how to get 100,000. But now it's all about, okay, what do I do with that 100,000 now? Right? Like, what do I do with that 50,000 once I get it? Again, getting in the room, I connected with people who are already mastered, the Airbnb industry, right? The event space industry. And I would just ask them and like pick their brain, like, yo, like, how can I get to the level you're at now? So now I'm connecting with people, right? I'm building relationships, right? I'm building reports with people, right? Now, guess what? Any business that I want to start, I don't have to go on YouTube anymore and search for answers. All I have to do is just make one call to one of my buddies and say, yo, bro, I'm trying to start this Airbnb business. Can you let me know the best spots in Atlanta for me to get an Airbnb place at, and what items and things that I need, maybe a checklist, something that I can implement right now in order for me to get started? Guess what he's going to do? Yeah, let me shoot that over to you right now, bro. Right? It was all because I got in the room, right? So when it comes to starting your journey, one thing that I will say, and this is one of these quotes that I love, right? It's all about getting started. Like somebody once told me, they said, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started in order for you to be great. Right? Like I didn't know this entrepreneurship journey was going to be for me. I didn't. I started though, right? Like I exposed myself to different things. And once you become exposed, you can never become unexposed. Like once you get yourself around a different environment, you will never be able to go back to that same environment, right? That's like you getting on a plane and you get in first class, right? You get in first class on that plane, right? And now the next plane trip that you go on, it's going to be so hard for you to walk past them first class seats. It's going to be so hard because in that first class, right, you getting the drinks, you getting the food, you got the extra seat, right? You maybe got the seat by yourself, right? You got like you can relax, you can like you get all the amenities that come with the first class because now you've gotten exposed to it. So now the next plane ride that you get on, it's going to be so hard for you to walk past them first class seats and tell yourself you don't belong there. It's going to be hard. So once you become exposed, right, you can never become unexposed. So one of the biggest things I did is that I put myself in a room to become exposed to different things. So that's kind of how I started my entrepreneurship journey, right? I just kind of put myself in positions to win. Like I'm literally on Eventbrite looking at events to go to. Like I'm literally on Instagram looking up events near me, right? And I knew it was something much more than me. Like I knew that I was worth it. I knew that it was possible for me. All right. I knew that, you know what? I get it. Not everything seems right. Not everything is at the perfect, time. Not everything is going to be positioned. Right. And I feel like a lot of people, Julian, when it comes to these things, right, when it comes to starting their business, right, I feel like a lot of people like to wait until it's perfect. I feel like a lot of people like to wait until that paycheck come through. Right. A lot of people may wait until they get that promotion. A lot of people may wait until the kids go out the house. A lot of people may wait, until, maybe their boss leave. A lot of people may wait until they close on that new house. A lot of people may wait until they wait for the kids to come out, right? And I'm here to tell you this right now, right? That it's never going to be a perfect time. It's never going to be a perfect time in order for you to start your business. It's never going to be a perfect time in order for you to start your podcast. It's never going to be a perfect time in order for you to start your business so you can make 6 figures. It's never going to be a perfect time in order for you to start inspiring people. It's never going to be a good time in order for you to start getting out of your comfort zone right now. Like it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be set up perfectly for you to start. It's never going to be perfect. So again, I don't want you guys to, come on here and think, what, he has all these speakers on here and they just seem so perfect. Like they have it all figured out. No, I don't even have it figured out. I don't know what my next path is going to be. I don't know. But at least I can say this one thing. At least I can say I was not afraid to start. At least I can say I was not afraid to start that business. I was not afraid to start that clothing brand. I was not afraid to do something that will outlive me. At least I can say I was not afraid to do the things that others aren't doing. And I think that's the biggest thing, Julian, honestly, bro, is just when it comes to getting started, it's just starting. Like, don't overthink it. Just start. I don't know what business everybody is in, but I need you guys to just start on that business, on what you want to do. Like, look, Julian, I remember, man, it's this quote that my mentor told me, bro. And I feel like this will resonate with a lot of people. With a lot of people is, he said, bro, like sometimes you just got to commit now and figure the rest out later. Like you got to commit now and figure the rest out later. Right. So again, I don't know what business y'all are doing. I don't know what you guys are trying to get into, but I need you guys to just commit. Just say, you know what? I'm committed to my dreams. I'm committed to my goals. I'm committed to 2022 being my year. I'm committed to 2023 being my best year, right? I'm committed to my life. I'm committed to my future. I'm committed to the next generation after me. I'm committed to creating generational wealth. I'm committed to being financially free. And everything else will follow along, but you got to commit first. You got to commit in yourself first. You got to commit that you are going to be the person to actually be that mortar for your family. So I think that's the biggest thing, Julian, really, bro, is just committing, man. Because I feel like a lot of people are maybe listening, maybe on here, trying to figure out pieces and puzzles and trying to put everything together. It's not going to all work out like that. Like what's for me is for me. What's for you is for you. Like my destination may not be your destination. And I don't want people to think that the journey that they're on is their final destination. Like, no, like you're still traveling. Like you haven't even reached your fullest potential yet. Right. So again, I want you guys to just start, commit. Just start.
That's real. That's real right there, King. You dropping a ton of jewels, Jay, when it comes to literally the first step in any path to success is, like you said, just taking that first step and fully diving all the way in instead of sticking your toe in, instead of trying to figure it out and be a perfectionist from the beginning. Like Jaylen is telling you all, especially the wisdom listeners that are listening in, you have to be fully committed to your purpose and also your goals. And so, Jay, I know we talk a lot about oppositions and distractions on our podcast when it comes to any young professional or entrepreneur that's on their path to greatness. Like, how have you been able to eliminate distractions, especially being in your early 20s, where we know a lot of the Gen Zers or the alpha generation that's still in high school coming up are into, of course, the social media. They're into the clubbing, especially being here in Atlanta where you and I grew up at. They got the clubs, the access to all the beautiful queens out here. And so like how have you been able to stay focused and not be distracted as much as some of your peers may have been that you either grew up with, went to school with, or even that are in the service that you are in as a Marine right now too?
Yeah, man. And I think the honest answer that I can really give you for that is this, is that when I say I'm so committed to my dreams, Julian, like my grinding to people is so annoying. Like I want you guys to make your grinding process so annoying, right? And what I mean by that is like every time let me say this, I can't even go around the same people who I used to talk to in high school, right? I just can't. But even I remember I had a conversation with them kind of before I fully transitioned over to really start eliminating myself away from them. But every time I get around them, right, they used to speak about weed. They used to speak about, going to clubs. They used to speak about, doing things that just wasn't bettering them, right? And I would talk about all the things that we could do. Like I remember I used to be like, yo, like they having an invest fest, right? Or, hey, like they're having this investment opportunity here. Like they're having this, and that. Let's go to it. And they were like, how much it costs? $50. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Right. And I'll be like, yo. Right. And every time I talk to them, it would always be something about investing. It would always be something about getting uncomfortable. Right. And my grinding was so annoying to them. Like they were like, bro, like, stop talking to me about this. Like, stop talking to me about bettering your life. Stop talking to me about wanting to get to that next level. Like, bro, I'm trying to drink. I'm trying to have fun. Right. I'm trying to live my age. Right. Or I'm trying to live young at an early age before I get older. Right. And the one thing that I always tell people is this, Julian, like, a lot of people always say, you know, when it comes to business and, you know, depending on what you're doing, or it doesn't matter, right? In business, generalizing it, right? I know a lot of people tend to always think, well, it's a get rich quick scheme, right? Depending on what it is, right? It's a get rich quick scheme, right? Well, like, why would you do Turo, right? Why would you do, why would you do this? Why would you do that? It's a get rich quick scheme, right? And I look back and I ask them, I say, well, do you want to get rich slow or do you want to get rich fast? Right? Because guess what? The quicker you get to that destination to which you're trying to get to, the longer you get to enjoy it. Like, I don't want to be 65 and then I'm rich. And next thing you know, I only got between max 5 to 10 years to actually enjoy it. Right? So I'm doing what I have to do now in order for me to get to that destination quicker, right? Not slower, but quicker, right? So that way I can enjoy it way longer. I remember a quote that Les Brown stated. He said, you know, people who are hungry, right? He spoke about just being hungry, right? Just being hungry for a lot of things, for success, for your business, for your journey, whatever it is that you have going on. And I think to answer your question fully, Julian, is this. He said, people who are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Right? So, you know, again, just to go back, bro, is honestly me knowing that I'm going to have the things tomorrow that my friends, everybody else who's partying today, who's going to clubs, who's trying to be around all the women, like who's trying to do all the extra stuff, right? They're not going to have the things that I'm going to have tomorrow. So that was kind of, you know, my spill on that, bro, when it comes to that. But honestly, distractions, I believe, is definitely one of the biggest things, man. But you got to stay locked in. Like, you got to stay focused. Like, you got to write down your goals, right? I'm not talking about visual, like, or excuse me, verbally speaking it, right? But I need you guys to actually physically write it down, right? Write down what is your goals, right? And after that, I want you guys to write down 3 to 5 reasons on why you should achieve these goals. Because now you're kind of figuring out your why behind the process. Because if your why is not big enough, right, that means anybody and everybody can pull you back down, right? So I need you to write down those goals, and I need you to write down at least 3 to 5 reasons on why you should be accomplishing these goals. Like, why is it so important to you? Because once you figure out that why, like once you figure out what's holding you up, what's keeping you, you know, firm, what's holding you down, what's making you stay committed, there's no distractions. There's nobody in the world that can honestly make you, you know, advert from what you're trying to do.
No, that's real right there, King. Definitely, especially in the 20s and 30s, that there's so many distractions that especially us who are millennials and Gen Zers are dealing with, especially pre and also post-COVID. And so that's some major jewels that you are dropping when it comes to being different from the rest of the pack and also going on your own path, which as we wind down shortly, Jay, we definitely want to hear about like how you got into the business side and also what business ventures did you go after? And also were they multiple streams of income? Like, talk to us about the business side of getting to that 6-figure mark.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So again, it all started when I was in the military, right? Again, I locked down for about 6 months to a year. I studied, you know, what I could actually master, right? Like, what could I actually learn and be good at, right? So I studied it. I was on the internet for a little bit, and I seen people on TikTok that was creating courses of whatnot, right? I like to call it digital products. So I'm seeing them create courses. I'm seeing them selling on TikTok, right? And I'm like, hold on. This look kind of fun to me. Like, I'm just seeing the way they just promoting it, seeing the way they just talking about it. And I go and click the dude link in his bio. He had a course, I think, for about $200, right, on a specific niche that he was doing. So I said, you know what? I want to lock down on his niche. I want to figure out what it is that this is that he's selling. And I want to lock down for a couple months on it, learn all I can learn on it, right? And I want to give the game away for free to everybody. So literally, that's what I did. Like, I learned a specific niche of business called state funds, right? So again, I looked at somebody else who was selling a course. I literally looked at his and I said, you know, I'm gonna study and I'm gonna give the game away for free for just a little bit, right? I'm like, you know, I want to give everything I can. So boom, I gave everything I can on TikTok for free. Next thing you know, it was blowing up. It was blowing up. After that, I created a small mini course for it, and I was charging way less than what he was charging. I think he was charging $150. I put mine at like $27 or something, right? Full course, the same thing that he has in his, but obviously I'm gonna raise my price down for my competitors. So, this is kind of how I got in the digital product realm. So I was creating a digital product, right? Something that I created once that I can sell forever, right? Again, I hope somebody caught that and wrote that down, right? Meaning when it comes to digital product, what can you create one time and sell forever? So again, I created this digital product on TikTok. It blew up, right? Automatically, just off of that digital product alone, I made $30,000, right, in 2 months, just off of that product alone, right? So kind of once I got exposed, again, once you get exposed, you can't become unexposed, right? Me being young as I am, right, me making is what I was making in the military, because I only make, during that time, I would say about $24,000 to $25,000 a year, right? So 30,000, right? I was already making my yearly salary just off of that one course. After that, I got exposed to ebooks, right? Another digital product realm, right? Getting exposed to ebooks. And I'm gonna throw this quick gem out real quick for ebooks. If you guys want to create your ebook, I'm gonna need you guys to go to otter.ai, OTTER.ai. When you guys go to otter.ai literally transcribes your words into text, right? So meaning you can verbally say whatever it is and it will transcribe everything into text, right? Boom. Now you have everything into text. The next thing, I need you guys to go to Fiverr, FIVERR.com, and you guys can literally go get you somebody who can proofread over what you just verbally said, right, in that text. Have them proofread it. All right, that costs about $5 to $10. The next thing, you're going to go on the same website, Fiverr.com, and you're going to get somebody, you're going to pay them $5 to $10 again to put it in an ebook format. The next thing you guys are going to do is you're going to go back on Fiverr.com again. Like Fiverr should be your best friend right now, right? After that, you guys are going to pay about $5 to $10 to go get a ebook cover created for your ebook, right? Boom, officially, you've now just created your ebook. Simple as that, right? Don't overthink it. Literally, you just created your ebook. So again, I got into the digital product realm, bro. After that, I kind of exposed myself to the business credit realm. So now I was trying to figure out how can I get funding for my business, right? How can I get funding in order for me to start X, Y, and Z? Learned about different cards to get, right? Learned about different lines of credit to get. So now I'm walking out the bank with $20,000, $30,000 to $50,000, right? Then I got myself into investing into real estate, right? Into fix and flips, right? And then I converted over into mentorship programs. Right now, I have mentorship programs that I offer as high as $30,000 for my mentorship program that I have set up to where, you know what? I have the game. I have everything that's needed. I go to like frequent masterminds almost every other week. You know what? I want to put somebody in the realm to show them that it's possible. Right. So now all of my mentees, now they're going to different events with me. Right. All of my mentees, they're joining these webinars. Right. All of my mentees are learning how to get to the bag. Right. Where I'm literally breaking down how you can get 100K in funding in less than 100 days and how to get a 700 credit score in less than 70 days. Right. So, when it comes down to that, it was really just figuring out what works for me. How can I expand it? And then how can I optimize it? Right. Because me being in the military, guess what? I don't have a lot of time. So guess what I had to do? I had to put peoples and systems in place. Right? So I had to hire people who could do the things that I suck at, so I can do the things that I'm good at. Right. So I had to hire a VA. I had to hire closers. I had to hire, everybody in my business to keep my business optimized so I can scale it to that next level, because I don't have a lot of time in the military. Like I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm getting off at 5 p.m. Right now, I only got from 6 to 12 a.m. to work on my business. Like something still has to work between that time gap from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's why I have peoples and systems in place, bro. And I think it was just all about scaling. So I think one of the biggest things on kind of, how I really started was digital products, getting ebooks, getting courses. Then I kind of branched off into business credit, right? Getting funding for my business to where now, right, I'm in the real estate game, right? I'm doing fix and flips, right? I'm having mentorship programs, right? I'm creating products for people to actually enjoy, right? I'm doing all of these things in order for, to better myself, but not only just that, but to better everybody else, because I believe it's impact over income, right? Impact over income, meaning how many lives can I change? Like the money's good, bro, but how many lives can I change? Not just 5, right? But maybe I can impact 25, maybe 2,500, maybe 25,000, right? So it's all about the impact over income for me, bro. Like the 6 figures is good, man. But honestly, I think, it should be about, how many lives I've changed. Like how many people's lives have changed just off of getting free information. Like how many people's lives am I going to change in the future? Like how many people am I going to help make 5, 6 figures? Like how many people am I going to help so that way they can be financially free? How many people can I help so that way they can get on the journey to doing what they want to do? All right. So that was one of the biggest things for me, Julian, bro. But again, I started out again in the digital product, the digital product realm. Then I kind of branched off to business credit, learning how to make money off of my cards, learning how to, fly for free off of my cards, learning how to liquidate my cards, right? Learning how to do everything pertaining to my cards, to liquidating them, to figure out how to get these lines of credit so that way I can branch off. I got in the real estate game. I'm all in when it comes to Turo as well. So I'm kind of, very diverse in that realm when it comes to just businesses in general, right? I'm very out there, but I have peoples and systems in place to help optimize and scale my business to that next level because I know I can't do it alone.
No, that's real, King. You got to have a team. And then like you are already doing in your 20s, you're building up multiple streams of income where if one stream dies off, especially with the upcoming recession, that you can still stay, you can still stay afloat in the other revenue generators. And that's something key for those who are listening that Jaylen is dropping on you as a major jewel. You got to still be able to float, and you also have to be able to sail when other people are getting knocked out and destroyed based off of the winds, the storms, and the hurricanes that are coming, because you cannot rely on one source of income. And so, Jay, I know you're dropping a ton of jewels for today's episode, King, but we are pivoting into the final jewel, which is where you can literally leave a final thought, a final piece of wisdom with the audience. We talked about how you came into the entrepreneurship mindset through mentorship and guidance. We talked about how you've been able to balance being an armed service member as an active Marine that is in active duty, and then also building up a 6-figure business and also continuing to build up your financial legacy. What would be a final jewel that you would want to leave with our audience today?
You mind if I give them 2 plays to run, bro? I don't know if that's good with you. I really want to give them 2 plays.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, King.
I just wanted to be sure. So listen, the first play I want you guys to do, the first play, I'm gonna show you guys how to fly for free right now, right? So I hope you guys are taking notes. I'm gonna make this real quick and real simple. Right. One of the biggest things that you guys want to do whenever you're trying to fly for free, I'm going to need you guys to go find a credit card that has a good intro offer, right? Specifically that has either bonus miles or sky miles, or one that has like membership reward points, right? Me preferably, I have one of my cards that I have for flying is Delta Sky Miles. So make sure that they have a good intro offer, and a good intro offer, right, is something, like this, right? Like spend 3,000 in 3 months in order for you to get, I don't know, let's just say 80,000 Sky Miles, right? You got to spend $3,000 in 3 months in order for you to get 80,000 Sky Miles, right? In order for you to actually leverage that, right? But check this out. I don't want to pay $3,000 out of my own pocket. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to stores and make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you do your due diligence. Again, I cannot stress that enough. I'm going to go to stores that have some type of money back guarantee, right? Something that I know I'm going to get my money back for the product for, right? It could be a 14, 30 day, whatever it is. Me personally, I go to Dixon's Sporting Goods, right? I go to Dixon's Sporting Goods, right? And what I'm going to do is, again, I got to spend $3,000 on that card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a whole bunch of items, and I'm going to make sure that item equals up to about, approximately maybe about like $3,050, right? $3,050, right? The next thing I'm going to do when I'm at the register, they're going to say, okay, can we get your payment, right? Or how are you going to pay? I'm literally going to ask them, I'm going to say, hey, can I pay $3,000 off of this card, which is going to be your credit card that you got the intro offer for? And then I'm going to say, hey, can I pay the $50 off of my debit card? They're going to say, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Right. Boom. You now purchased and used and paid for $3,050 worth of items, right? We're going to keep all those items in our car, in our trunk. We're going to leave it there. The next 3 to 4 days, we're going to go back into that same store and we're going to say, hey, can we get a refund for these items that I bought? I have a receipt here. They're going to say, okay, how would you like your money back? You're going to tell them, can I get it back all on my debit card? They're going to say, well, why would you do that? Well, because my debit card is on the actual receipt, right? My debit card is on the receipt, right? So they're going to be more than reluctant to give you all of your money back on your debit card, right? So now you got the whole $3,050 back on your debit card. What's next after that? Guess what? You got everything back on your personal debit card, which is now in your personal bank account. After that, guess what? We still got $3,000 on that credit card that we still got to pay off, but we got that $3,000 sitting in our personal bank account. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take that $3,000 that we got from our personal bank account and we're going to pay it off to our actual credit card, right? What this does is the reason why we went this route is simply because if you were to ask for a refund and you ask for it all back off of your credit card that you were going to use, right? In order for you to get that intro offer, those bonus sky miles, they're going to take away back the point simply because you now refunded that payment, right? So now you guys can go to Delta Calendar, type that in on Google, Delta Calendar, and you guys are able to pick your flights and you guys are able to pay with that sky miles that you just got, because now you guys just got 80,000 sky miles for free. You didn't spend no money. The next play I want you guys to run is something that I know a lot of people have been running recently. It's called the BOA play. Bank of America play, right? Bank of America loves small business owners, especially new business owners that's coming in, that's just created their business. And what they like to do is they like to give up to 4 business auto loans with only 1 hard inquiry. So if you wanted to start that exotic car industry, if you wanted to start the economy car industry, right? If you wanted to just start your whole fleet in general when it comes to cars, this is a play that you guys can literally run, right? You guys can literally sit down, go inside the Bank of America actual place, right? The bank, and say, hey, I want 4 business auto loans, right, for my business. And they're literally going to give you 4 business auto loans with only 1 hard inquiry, meaning they're going to give you a $30,000 business auto loan off of this one. They may give you a 20 off of this one, right? They may give you a 30 off of this one, and they may even give you a 50 off of this one, right? Overall, you just collected more than $80,000 in auto loans, right? Now you can go get your economy car. You can go get that Honda, that Fiat, right? Now, guess what? You don't have to come out of pocket anymore, right? You don't have to come out of pocket anymore. So I'm going to need you guys to run the play, but not only that, I'm going to need you guys to run the play with no delay. Like, don't wait until it's a perfect time. Like, go run the play right now, right? And I highly advise, if you guys run the BOA play, make sure your credit score is at least like minimum 680, right? 680 is that minimum threshold. Obviously, make sure you got no derogatory remarks, no collections, no late payments, and you guys will be good. So I just wanted to leave you guys with those 2 plays to actually implement on, but I need you guys to run the play with no delay, because this play may not be active maybe the next year by the time you look at this video. So as soon as you're looking at it, I'm going to need you to just go, you know what? Let me go do this right now, right? And run the play. So that's all I got, bro.
Hey, that King Jaylen is running a ton of jewels right there for you all in the clutch. Jaylen, I know it's been a pleasure serving with you, King. I'm going to say a quick blessing over you, man, for definitely taking time out of your schedule to come and share these jewels of wisdom with us. Shout out to all of our wisdom listeners that have been tracking with us. If you've been blessed by any way, shape, or form by the jewels that Jaylen has been dropping today, feel free to sow a seed with us. This is good soil that you're sowing into. You can sow 2 specific ways. You can cash app us at $SMART, SMART, JEWELZ, or you can become a monthly Patreon with us. Or even for those who are tracking with us on Facebook, you could also send some stars to us. This goes back into our functioning of the business by way of Smart Jewels Network, which hosts creative and podcast shows to basically branch out to the international audience that we serve. And so no donation will be too small or too large. And we appreciate all of our Smart Jewel donors and affiliate partners and sponsors at the bottom ticker on the screen that have sold into us for this season. But Jaylen, I'm going to say a quick prayer over you, King, and then allow you to enjoy the rest of your day, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
For sure. Father, I just want to thank you for Jaylen's tenacity, and also for just his persistence at being able to just master his craft and also to master his purpose that you have given him. We thank you for all the guides, the mentors, the coaches, the influencers, and the speakers that have sown into him, and even the family and his community that have built him up to be the king and also the dynamic entrepreneur that you are calling him to be. We thank you for his service and being able to cover him and keep him protected from anything that may try to attack or come his way or take him off course. We rebuke it right now, and we declare that you will send him new resources, new ventures, new partnerships that can help enhance his business and take him to the next level for where you have called him to. I love you, Father, and I thank you for this time that you've allowed us to share. May you bless the both of Jaylen and myself as we go on our way, and bless his business and magnify it. And this in Yahshua HaMashiach's name, I pray, the Christ. Amen.
Amen. Appreciate that.
I appreciate you, Jay. Definitely. How can they stay in contact with you, Jay?
Yep. So listen, you guys can go on my IG at Jaylen Feliciano. It's right there on the screen for you guys. And actually what I wanted to do just for you guys, right? I'm hosting a free masterclass on next Friday, right? It's going to be next Friday. The exact date is going to be June 24th. June 24th, right? Next Friday, I'm hosting a free masterclass, right? And I want you guys to tap in for free, right? I want to give you guys the game for an hour for free. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not doing none of that. I just want you guys to come and get the game for free. You guys can go to www.100kinbusinesscredit.com in order for you guys to register, right? I'll host weekly webinars every week. So if you don't come in on June 24th, don't worry. Just go back, register, right? And you guys will probably get in the next week, whatever week you're looking at this at, right? It can be in August. It can be in November. It doesn't matter. I do them weekly, right? So you guys can tap in so that way you guys can get even more information that can change your life. But guess what? I want you guys to write this down and remember this, is that the information that you get can change your compensation, and your compensation can now change your situation, but that only works with implementation. So I need you guys to go all in on you. I need you to go all in on your dreams. I need you to go all in on your success. I need you to go all in on your journey. I need you to go all in on you because you deserve it. It's possible for you. The only thing you have to do is stop fighting demons within inside you, right? Because one thing somebody told me, they said, if there's no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do us no harm. So I need you to go all in. Let me know if you guys enjoyed anything out of this. Shoot me a DM again at Jaylen Feliciano. Register for the free masterclass. All right, 100K in businesscredit.com. And I'm going to see you guys there. Let's go.
We appreciate you, King, for coming on, Jay. I know we're going to be in touch, man. You enjoy the rest of your day, man, and we'll be in touch, King. Thank you so much for all the.
Let's get it. I appreciate you again, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Talk soon, King. Peace.
Let's get it. Let's get it.